In this video today, we're going to take our first aid supplies from looking like this to looking like this. Welcome to our miscellaneous storage closet. This is an extra closet in our primary bedroom, and we use it kind of like a dumping ground of stuff that doesn't have a home or stuff that doesn't need to be out every day in our life, but we're keeping. It maintains itself at a hot mess on a daily basis. Sometimes we can't even get this door open. There's so much stuff in here. I will show you the room, but this is one shelf Sunday. So I'm only going to focus on one shelf, one category, one bin. Today I am focusing on first aid stuff. A couple of times we've come in here, haven't been able to find what we're looking for, and that to me tells me that it's time for me to revamp the system in the way we keep our first aid things, medicine, band-aids, etc. Everything everything seems jumbled up at this point on all of this entire stack has first aid as well as like other things. There's computer parts, sewing kit, I don't even know what those are back there, microfiber towels that we used for camping, I don't know what's in that bag, a wand from Great Wolf Lodge. So I just want to organize and put this back in a way that makes a lot of sense from a function standpoint. Welcome to the channel. My name is Erica Lucas, and on this channel I share videos about decluttering, organizing, and cleaning. This is episode 7 of One Shelf Sunday, in which I tackle a shelf, room, bin, section of the floor, the couch, section of my house that I want to tackle. The goal here is small, manageable, achievable projects so that over time it makes a difference, which it absolutely has. Here on episode 7, I definitely have improved how our house looks, feels, and functions. And with this concept of One Shelf Sunday, I have loved the comments on this series. People supporting each other, people saying, hey, I did this shelf while you did your shelf. I tackled my kitchen counter where you did your fireplace mantle. Just really phenomenal feedback. And I love how relatable and viable this series has been for you. I'm also hoping to get a list of things that I think are missing from here. The impetus for this project came when I couldn't find the children's Motrin the other day, and then my husband couldn't find hydrocortisone cream that he was looking for. So I don't know if we're out of both or what, but that's why we're doing this today. I'm taking everything out and putting it on my bed. That way I've got a blank surface to work with. The other benefit of moving it to my bed means that I have to deal with it. I can't go to sleep until I've dealt with this clutter. Okay. I think I grabbed it. So here we go. 3 empty shelves. This is not first aid. Yeah, it could be dealt with, but it's One Shelf Sunday, one category. Today we're just dealing with first aid supplies. And by sticking to that, by forcing myself to commit to one category or one shelf, I actually finished the job I started. Do I want to do the whole closet? Sure do. Would love for that to be tidy and organized, but that's not my capacity anymore. I don't have the energy for that. One shelf, one category, one bin, one section of your couch, one section of your bed. That's the goal. Here we go. Once you remove it from the 3 shelves, it looks like way more than was on there. These 2 bins I just pulled because I had them from another room that were empty and unused. And then these 2 bins were empty in there. And then I would say 40–50% is actually asthma management stuff. So that right there feels like a category within a category that's super easy for me to organize. Some of my bins are already labeled. Daily inhalers, nebulizer parts. So I'm going to use what I have to start with before I start organizing other areas. Okay, right out of the gate, I have my daily inhalers. I just put that right back into the bin. I know those are still good because they just came in the mail last month. I have my daughter's old daily inhalers. I have 6 of those. I'm going to check the expiration and hang on to them. God willing, she continues to be self-managed. She was on a daily inhaler for 8 years to keep her asthma under control. And for the last year, she's been good. She's managed without a daily inhaler and has only needed her emergency inhaler 2 times. So that's been really great. Her asthma is under control. It seems like maybe she's outgrowing it a little bit. Prayers answered. You got to write them down when they're answered so you remember. So I'm going to check the expirations. I'm going to hang on to them because there's not many of them. And just because. If you're an asthma parent, you know. Okay. You just hang on to them. Okay. And our asthma doctor here in Maryland is amazing. We've been here, oh gosh, we're starting our 7th year. And he will prescribe when I call if she needs something. So I don't need to hang on to things. But the parent in me who watched her with uncontrolled asthma needs to hang on to these for a little while longer. Some of these expired in 2021. That's too long ago. She needs to go higher level for a while. Yeah, so these are actually still good. There we go. Okay, so these are still fine. I'm going to put them in the daily inhalers bin. It's one of those, I'm not necessarily a big fan of saving just in case items, but I've experienced enough trauma with asthma that it doesn't matter if I hang on to those. Okay, so that's one. That's daily inhalers. I started my trash bag. These are emergency inhalers, which absolutely still need for me. She has one in her bag. It's probably time to replace it. She has one in her purse and she has one in her backpacks. One in each backpack. She has 2 backpacks. So I'm just probably going to change out those for the latest ones. Here we go. Okay, they're all expired. So what I'm going to do is start a list of things I need to buy. I'm going to reorder non-expired emergency inhalers. They're just still needed in our life. And I can get that through my insurance and through my doctor. He can do it through the portal, so no problem. I don't even need to make an appointment right now because we go see him every 6 months. I am going to hang on to the most recent 3 because I do need a bin for emergency inhalers restocks, and then I'm going to throw out the other ones. And this medication that I'm putting into this bag, there's a proper way to dispose of medication. You can take it to pharmacies and they'll take it for you and dispose of it correctly. You can give it back to the doctor's office and they will also take care of it. So if I just keep it in a bag, then when I go into the doctor's next or I go to CVS or whatever, I can just take this bag and have the medication disposed of properly. Trash. This is medication trash. We've got medication trash, nebulizer, emergency inhalers, daily inhalers. Already labeled Nebi and daily from before. I just need a new label for that. All right, let's cruise through the rest. I need a plan. So categories that remain: sick, wounds, we ended up making this just the sick bin for adults and kids because the adults dispense the medication in our house, so one bin works. Okay, perfect. Now I have random stuff. I have a pulsometer for measuring oxygen. Again, asthma trauma, keeping it. Alcohol pads, Lactaid, corn removers. All of this is being decluttered from that closet. It was all expired medication, just things that need to be replaced in the first aid cabinet. All the nebulizer parts here with a note for myself to reorder and replace those. We've got emergency inhalers, same note, replace those, and my daily inhalers. This is just like miscellaneous stuff that is my husband's that I'm just gonna put back in there. Miscellaneous medical. Bandages, sick bin. And then for the cars, I have bandages, tweezers, and a tick remover device with the what we call black salve, and the Ithamol, we call it black salve, and antibiotic cream, Band-Aids, and then each car will also have wet ones and clean Clorox wipes. The vomit bag's already in the car, so those go in tandem with that. The only thing I can't think through right now, maybe you can help me with comments, and I don't want these ointments in the car. It gets real hot in Maryland, and we're at that season. So I don't think it's a good idea to have those in the car. Now I can keep them by the front door and just grab them every time I leave the house, but that's asking a lot of my husband to try to remember when he goes out with the kids. I've been leaning towards this bag or like a basket of this kind of stuff that's just extra, just in case, because you're on the road with the kids kind of stuff, where I don't need to keep it in my purse, because I'm trying to go down to a normal person's size purse and not a giant purse to carry all this kind of stuff. But just something that if you're out with the kids, you've got what you need. A lot of other things could go in there. So into a category like that. I don't know what I'm going to do yet, but anyway, they're organized and ready for whatever it is I decide. Here we go. Time to put it all away. It makes sense for me to put bandages front and center. That's an often used item, as well as maybe sick. Happy with how it's organized. All right, we've got my husband's random stuff here and a sick bin for all 5 people in the house. You go to one bin for your needs. Bandages, 2 bins. This is just general tape and gauze and pads, and then bandages. Miscellaneous medical back there. This whole shelf now is asthma medication. That's great for me because it was definitely scattered. So now I know there's one shelf for what I need. What remains are 4 empty bins. I didn't start with those 2. So I ended up, and I also didn't start with that in the closet. All right, 1 empty bin from this project. And car materials and trash. Thanks for being here with me today and sharing part of your day with me. I now need to finish this task so I can actually sleep in my bed tonight. I hope you're doing well, and here's another video next.